Hello and welcome back to News Tower and of course the Goat Gazette. Before we get too far along in this episode, the first thing we absolutely must do is order ourselves some paper. And interestingly, you will note that there is a new tab under the ordering for paper, food, and coal. That is because the game has just been updated to include automatically managing the ordering of these resources. You just have to find them on the map and go and buy them. They are in various places. If you have a look at your resources, you'll find where they are. The Little Neck Mine will handle coal, the Marcel paper plant will handle paper, and the Woodbridge Farm will handle food subsequently. So that is a new thing that is included in the game, and something that I would quite like to get my hands on. The problem is the only one that I really care about that much is the paper one, and it is so far away. And yeah, but the other thing with this is you can also get discounts for paper. So I feel like that might be worth doing anyway. Switching up our plan a little bit, instead of going directly for the Cartography Association, we sort of maybe try and move up a little bit more to the Marcel paper plant, which could be interesting. I don't believe we can change this yet. No. Because we've already selected our place for the week, we can't change that, but that is something to note. I think we are going to start heading up there. And I also want to get the theater unlocked as well to unlock some quests for the high society. But yes, we do need to order paper. We'll go ahead and order ourselves probably 2 large deliveries. I think that should cover it. Our toilet is currently empty, but that's fine. We have 3 others that they can use. Apart from that, I think we're pretty much good to go. We had an incredible week last week, getting a whole bunch of extra stories that we didn't use. Unfortunately, I forgot to put the Mafia story in, so that's unfortunate. We should definitely be able to sell 30,000 newspapers, though. I think someone in the comments mentioned that we sold like 64,000 in the previous week, so that should be fine. And we just need society and tragedy, which we can find in crime and society. So we'll open up the globe. We will look for society, and I mean, we may as well prioritize crime as well. We may as well. I see no harm in that. And then we can start playing the game. Wait for our telegraphers to find us some stories. Easy as that. Let's see what we've got. It looks like we've got plenty of crime, plenty of society. So let's just hope that we have the reporters to get these done. The reporter. Look. Instantly we have a tragedy, so this is definitely going to be one that we want to get done. It's only got the 1 story in it, so I'm going to send Bill out on this, just because it's not super important that gets done immediately. This one has a risk of a lawsuit, which is interesting. It's not a terrible story, but the lawsuit risk is turning me off a little bit. We would get another tragedy tag, but we don't need it. I'll have a look at the other stories that we've got here first, and then we'll decide if that is something that we want to tackle and take on that lawsuit. This is just a single society tag, so that's easy enough to get done. This one does have a statement tag, which is a silver tag, and this is going to get us a whole bunch of stuff. Again, another tragic story. I think this is worth doing, so we'll send our people out on this. We'll grab Catherine on the crime story part, and then we can send Clarence on the other one. They'll have 13 hours, and then we can send someone else out to do the rest of that. And again, we have another pretty big story here, a revealing gold tag, so that's going to be definitely worth doing as well. A little bit unfortunate that we send our best reporters out. We can send Frederick up the top here, and Jason can come down the bottom. The reporter. We'll have a look at this. Do we have anyone left? Yeah. We can send Charles out on that, and I think we're just going to ignore this lawsuit. I don't particularly feel like getting myself involved in a lawsuit just yet. We have a whole bunch of paper stacking up down the bottom here. Let's check our coal and our food as well. We should be fine there. Hopefully our resupply person can get that job done relatively well. Hopefully. And another crime story here. It's crime and alarming. I'm not super thrilled about this. This isn't a great story to have, so I think we're just going to look for something better. The reporter. As our reporters finish off some of their stories here. We have Catherine coming back, so she can probably get this done as soon as she hands hers in. That's good to go. We have our key, so we can unlock this, and we can send out Clarence to get this done. This is a 2-day story, but he's going to bring that down to only 1 day and 1 hour, so definitely worth putting a good reporter on that. And then we have a gruesome crime story. Not particularly fussed either way with this one. We have 7 stories left. It is currently Tuesday. I think we can probably send someone out to do this. I think that'll be fine. They'll get some experience even if we don't end up running the story. And again, we have another lawsuit with sports and gossip. We're not really using either of these tags, so yeah, that's going to be a skip for me. The report, and what do we got? We have economy. We have 4 influence points for getting this done and a new object, so this is definitely a story I want to do. 1 day down to 15 hours, that will be absolutely perfect. And singular sports story with only 4 stories left. Honestly, I think I'm just going to close this one out as well. I don't think that's necessary at all. We don't have any sports, so running that story really isn't worth our time as far as I'm aware. Sports and defeat, again, probably not really worth it. It is only Wednesday, and we have only 3 stories left, so I think we can probably start sending people out on these, if not just for the experience. Whether or not we use them is a different story. But we have economy. This has statistics and will gain us 4 influence points. Influence points, of course, very important. And that will also get us a new item. So yes, please. Our first entertainment story. I think we do have another gruesome tag. We'll send someone out on this just because we're running out of stories for the week. And I think we'll get everything done at this point. The reported. And again, same thing here. We'll just send them out because we can. And our last story is a singular tag. We're starting this Thursday. That should get done. No worries at all. Now it's basically just a waiting game, making sure everything gets done in time. We can have a look at our printer. It currently has 200 pages in it. That is not enough. We'll let the game run in the background while we just quickly top up our printer. Easy enough. 56. Other thing we can probably do this week is pay down our loan a little bit. We have 4,900 in the bank. So I think we just pay this down until we have 900 left, and we should be good to go. That'll cut down our interest just a little bit. And of course, we also get that brand new item, which is a wanted poster to boost our crime reporters. Always nice to see. Close that out. Go into our build menu and have a look. Who wants this? It looks like both of these guys do. That is unfortunate. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit this in for both of them. And again here, I think we're going to have to do a little bit of rearranging to make this work. But ideally, we want 2 of these. We want 2 of these. I'm going to pause the game while we try and figure this out. The reported. That should be good to go. And then we just have to wait for all of our stories to complete, which they should. I don't think we'll have any problems getting all of these done this week. And yeah, as you can see, they're already complete. Absolutely perfect. Sunday morning, time to roll the presses. And that is loud. We should be able to just go straight into printing and see what we can do. Of course, we're going to have a lot that are old news. We're going to ignore them for the most part to start with, and figure out where we want to go at the very start of this. So we have 1 gold tag and 1 silver tag. I think the gold tag should definitely go with the ×3. This is crime, alarming society, and politics, which 50 really suits this, actually. That's going to give us so many buffs that I think this is worth putting here, even above putting it over like a 2 times on a separate page. I think that's going to be worth doing. In terms of what else we can run here, obviously, any crime story would work. Also, any society story would work, or a politics story. So we really have some options. If we have a look, we can probably just run this society tragedy story, and that should be good. That'll buff with both of those. Next page, we can probably go ahead and throw the silver tag on the ×2. That seems like it will be pretty good to me. We have another economy story that we can chuck on that page. And then as for the third one, we don't really have anything that synergizes with it particularly well. The only, pretty much nothing. We do have this sports defeat story that doesn't sort of gel with anything else though, so I think that's worth putting there. And then for this last story, we can actually combo these bottom 3 stories together as well. So we've got crime, which doesn't synergize with anything, but they both have gruesome. and then these both have entertainment. So that will work absolutely fine. And it doesn't really matter where we put each of these. They both have two bronze tags. And that should be good to go. We have 8 tag combos, which is pretty good. 20 bronze tags, 2 silver, and 1 gold. We are going to be selling 56,000 newspapers, so that will be absolutely a-okay. That'll complete both of our things here, and we will be happy with that. All our pages are full, and we currently have 1,100 paper. We only need 374. They did lower this requirement slightly. It used to be 1 crate of paper for every 5,000 sales, I believe, and now it's 1 crate of paper for every 7,500 sales. So a little bit less paper needs to be used to roll out our newspapers, but it is time to roll the presses. And only 1 leftover story this week, which is actually not too bad. All of those old ones will go away. Not to worry about that. It's always good to have more than you need than less. And like I said, 56,000 newspapers sold. Very nice to see. And all is good in the world. Nice 9,200 in the bank account before we take out our expenses. Port Richmond is now one of our districts, and the mayor is pretty happy with us. So really can't complain too much about that. And our expenses actually went down, which is good, just because we did decrease our loan quite a fair amount. We're only paying $250 a week in interest now. So that is absolutely good to see. We get another senior person here. They are in production. They're our typesetter. Always good to see. And we jump to our map. Now, what did we just unlock? We unlocked the Mariners Harbor Firehouse. Is that going to do anything for us? We could get that for society. We can get a big fan, which might be nice, counters heat and smell. And we also get like a wide lamp, which doesn't really do much apart from provide light. So nothing really exciting there. But like I said, I think I want to start working our way up to the Marcel paper plant. And I think the easiest way to do that at this point is probably going to be either going down this way and up, or just going straight here and across. The only reason I'm considering going down and up instead, or actually we can just go straight here and up, is so that we can also unlock the Jersey Theatre, which I think is going to be important later on. Let's have a look at what quests these guys have for us. This guy just wants us to print one mayor story, which is easy enough. And this guy wants me to print a crime story, a politics story, and a sports story. I'm not sure what happens when we get to 3 stars with each person, but I feel like I kind of want to do that. Let's just have a quick look at what this needs. This needs economy and politics. So probably not going to work out well with this. This would mean we'd have to print like basically one of everything. So I think we will take the mayor's. And if he gives us any clues, doesn't look like it. Try telling how great NYC is without me first, and I'll see if I have a free spot next week. Yeah, he's not really giving us any clues there that I can discern. So we're going to go for Wall Street, and we'll look for the mayor's story as well. That will be good to go. Jump on in. Pause the game and make sure everything is set up right on our globe. We need economy and politics. Should be easy enough to get done. And then, of course, we are also looking for that mayor's story. I don't think there's much else that we need to consider here. We still have 726 paper in there. I'm going to do a large delivery of that, and I'll also get maybe just a small delivery of food and a medium delivery of coal. That way our resupply person has something that they can work on throughout the week. But otherwise, we'll go ahead and run this until our telegraphers find us some stories. This one looks pretty complicated, actually. What have we got here? Profanity. I have not seen that tag before. I imagine that's going to be a nerf to our newspaper sales, but it's going to be outweighed by the scandal tag. I believe if we unlocked the editor, we would be able to edit out the profanity. So that is something to keep in mind. That is something that we do not have access to yet, but this is a story that I definitely want to get running. This has a lot of things that we need, and that scandal gold tag is going to be worth a lot to us in the long run. So let's have a look. We have Earl. He can do the economy part of this story, and then we really don't have that many fantastic politics reporters here, but Frederick can go out and start that as well. Our telegraphers were a little bit slow off the bat this time around, but that is fine. This one's pretty straightforward. And we actually have 2 in the exact same place. And this is our mayor tag, so this is very important to get done nice and early along. That should be fine. And we have an unveiling economy tag. Not particularly exciting. I think I would rather have this be something a little bit more exciting. So we're going to go ahead and close that one out and see what else we can get. Looks like we are ready to go with our profanity and scandal. Send Jason White out to do that immediately. That's going to take a day and 9 hours, so I'm pretty glad that we got this very early on. That should be fine. And again, we just get that one. Just that one tag. This is really not worth our time, as far as I can tell. I don't think there's much point in doing stories like that, especially when it's this early in the week and we're looking for something a little bit more exciting. So we'll go ahead and send someone out to do the rest of that. This one has a risk of outrage. Politics and dirt. I don't actually know if we have politics in our drawer yet. We do, it says. So we don't need this, and it has a risk of outrage, which is going to cause protests, which is going to delay us quite a lot. So yeah, again, we're just going to skip that. We only have 9 stories left, so I think at this point we have to take every single story that comes our way. Otherwise, we are not going to have a full newspaper. Because we need, what do we need? We need 9 stories total. So we can actually skip a couple more. We could probably skip 3, maybe 4 if we wanted to run this old story, but that is it. Let's have a look. Some crime. This looks like a good story as well. We have a lie and a statement. This is interesting. These tags something else that I have not seen before. Although this is a choice, so we could actually just go investigative and crime. We wouldn't have to do 2, so we'd have to commit less resources to this story, and I think that's the way I want to go. They're both going to give us the exact same things, except this one is going to give us a little bit of a lie in our newspaper, which I don't think we want. So we'll send Catherine to go and do the crime angle on that instead. And we do have breaking news telegram. CBS is going to broadcast a live harmony. The New York Philharmonic shall be heard live in every living room via the radio. A technical marvel. We're living in the future. You must report on this historic moment. So it looks like entertainment is going to be our hot topic this week, which is not particularly great for us, mostly because, you know, we don't have much in terms of entertainment going on, but we can probably get this done. Yeah, I guess so. It is going to require 3 people to do, which is all of our reporters, and none of us are particularly good at the entertainment side of things, but that sort of is what it is. We have to wait for Catherine to come back in 18 hours to get this done, which is going to use up quite a few of our resources. Again, we have a choice here. We can either run alarming story or we can run just a straight crime story, but it also has a red herring in it. So that is something to keep in mind as well. If we go to print, actually, can we flip this now and see things? No, we still haven't unlocked this part of the content, so that is okay. Go back into our globe here and see what we can do. I think I definitely want to run just the alarming story, but we don't have anyone back to do it. So I think I'm actually going to close this out because this week's feeling like it's going to be a little bit tight to get everything done. So yeah, we want to send people out when they're available. Like in this instance, Clarence can do this. You can knock that out in half a day and that will be fine. If we can have a look, do we have anyone back here yet? 10 hours, 10 hours, 9 hours. So we're still waiting for people to come back from that to finish off the breaking news. We need to act fast, it's telling us. We got 49 minutes. They're so close to being done. Okay. Someone should be back in a second. Hopefully this doesn't expire and it's closed. We didn't actually get the breaking news story done. So that was just a waste of like everyone's time. Unfortunate for sure, but not really much we could have done there apart from take them off the story that they were working on. And I don't particularly like the idea of doing that, so it is what it is. I feel like this newspaper is going to be a little bit dull. Lots of one-tag stories. But I mean, I guess it's a slow news week. There's not much we can do about that. This has a risk of a lawsuit and requires a bribe to get done. And it's only 2 tags. I think this is definitely no. This is going to lose us more money than it's worth. Definitely not going to take that. And again, it's just these one tag stories that just keep coming up. Right. A little bit unfortunate. Right. But that is all of the stories for the week, so we should get everything pretty much done and dusted by Sunday. Absolutely no problems whatsoever. We can check. Resupply person is doing okay. They're not doing fantastic. I also believe that elevators were added to the game, but I think we might have to unlock them. So that's something that we can look forward to a little bit later on. It is Sunday and time to roll the presses. We have one story that's still being written, but it will only take an hour to do. That is all good to go. We can go ahead and set up our newspaper. All right. I think this is definitely going to be our top story. It's like the only one with more than one tag. So this is going up here. It does have the negative tag with the profanity. We're putting profanity on the front page, but that is what it is. I think once we unlock editors, we can sort of manipulate those tags a little bit more, but until that point, we just sort of have to run with it and swear on our front page. Hopefully people don't mind too much. And what else have we got in here? We have politics, we have unrest, alarming, and economy. So a few things that we could probably synergize with here. I thought we had more that we could maybe synergize here, but I guess not. We can send these two on the front page, get that mayor story out of the way. The only other thing we need is nothing. The rest of the newspaper is ours to do with what we see fit. Throw a crime story there in that 2x slot to get that investigative tag a little bit of a boost. Unfortunately, no more crime stories that we can use here, but that is okay. I think the last page we will dedicate to society. Right. So we could maybe put these two entertainment stories on this page and then run the society stories on our final page there. A little bit of a slow week, only 44,000 in sales. But like I said, it's just a little bit of a slow news week, and there's not a lot we can do about that. Unfortunately, we have the paper. Everything is good to go. We can roll the presses for a second time this episode. While this is running, please do let me know if you guys are enjoying the series. I hope you are. I actually really quite enjoy this game, and it looks like it's in active development right now. So they're adding things left, right, and center and making it a little bit more interesting. It sort of gives me the vibes of Oxygen Not Included when I first got into that game. It was very bare bones, very minimalistic, and now it is just a content powerhouse. They've constantly added to that game, and I'm hoping this game sort of has the same sort of development arc. It looks like it's heading in that direction. So if you guys are enjoying the game, please do let me know in the comments down below. But yes, 44,700 newspapers sold this week. Got all of our quests done as well, which is great to see. I did forget to pay off the rest of our loan, but we can get to that in just a second. We also grab some nice little influence points from the mayor for completing his quest, which is fantastic. And yeah, should be left with a pretty hefty $8,500 to play with. And again, another senior staff member, always nice to see. Where to next is the question, and I think there is only one option, and it looks like that option is West New York, which wants politics and unrest, which should be easy enough to do. Let's have a look at what these guys want. They want no crime. And these guys want me to do crime, politics, and sports. I believe unrest is politics and economy. Okay. We could probably do the Mafia one this week. I feel like we're up to the task. Let's go ahead and accept that, and that should be good to go. We do have 38 influence points, so we could consider either getting ourselves another telegrapher or another printer, which is 32. I don't think we quite have the resources to sustain a fourth page just yet. It would be close, but I think the telegrapher is probably the better way to go. The thing is, I'm not really in the mood to redesign the building just yet, so that might be what we do at the start of the next episode. We'll go ahead and maybe unlock a brand new printer and a telegrapher and give ourselves a little bit of an office expansion. In the meantime, we'll just save up a little bit of our money so that we have the funds to do that. Just because if we go ahead and pause the game and we go into build mode, it actually costs $10,000 to add a new floor, which we're definitely going to need if we want to expand at all. So yeah, we definitely can't afford to do that right now, but yeah, so that's not happening. In terms of paper, we need a little bit more, so I want to go ahead and basically do the same thing. We'll order more paper. Food's fine, and coal is fine. We'll just get that paper in. We can probably even just order 2 of those and call that a day there. All right, in terms of stories that we want to run this week, politics and unrest. So politics and economy is first on the list. We also want crime, politics, and sports we already have. So I'm actually not going to worry about searching for sports. I'm sure we'll get one anyway if we don't even search for it. But yeah, we have it as a backup. These are the 3 that we need to focus on the most, and that should be good to go. All right. Let's do one more week, and then we'll call it for the day. Get our telegraphers printing out these stories. See what we've got. So already we have crime. We have alarming economy, society. I think we definitely want to go for the top one here, just because we can get that investigative tag. That will be fantastic. We'll send Clarence. He's only going to take 12 hours to do that. And then here we have nothing that we super need, but this will give us 3 tags, and it will also give us crime again, which we can synergize nicely with other things. So Earl can go ahead and get started on that. This one is purely just a politics story. I think we're just going to skip that. I'm not super interested in single tags this early in the week. And economy, I don't think either of these had an economy angle on them yet. So we should probably get that done, just because I think economy was one of the things that we needed here. Oh, no, I'm wrong. We don't need economy at all. So skip. Let's see. Politics and defeat. We can get that done with Jason. We have here. Just have crime and investigative. Catherine can do that in a good 19 hours. She's cutting that time down a lot. See what we've got. Inspiring or crime and alarming. Definitely crime and alarming. We want to send out Frederick. Is our only person who can do crime right now, so that is good to go. And we also have this. This is a singular crime story. No one's really around to do it, so we're going to cancel that and see what else we can find for the week. This grabs us 2 influence points and also gives us investigative. I believe we already have another investigative story too, so I think this is worth picking up, even if it is just for the influence points. What do we have here? This one gives us fame, which is interesting. It also has unrest, which we need, so this is definitely one that we want to do. We'll just wait for James to come back. We can send him down the bottom here, and when someone else comes back, which shouldn't take too long at all, we can get them sent out to do that. We have another unrest story here, but we just picked one of those up, and I don't really like the bribing mechanic, so we're gonna close this line. They generally cost more than they make, in my opinion. So yeah, not worth doing right now. But this was the other one that we were running, and Catherine and Frederick are now back to get this done. Perfect. Good to go. That was a lot of stories popping up real quick. Yeah, maybe. This is another unrest. We have plenty of reporters who can be sent out to do that, so I'm happy to get that done. We have another bribery story with sports. We do need sports for the mafia, but we do have that backup one in the thing. I think we'll do this just so that I can show you guys the bribery mechanic. But yeah. In general, I don't like bribes, especially when they're only like 2 tags. If this was like 2 tags plus a silver tag, I would be more inclined to do it, but we'll do it anyway. So we go ahead and give them the bribe. We basically just increase it until they shake our hand, but they slowly move over time. So if we do one more, you can see they're slowly moving, and you just want them to shake your hand before this time runs out. So probably one more. We might get... we'll give them one more. Okay, so that didn't cost us too much money. But yeah, a little mini game there that we can play if we want to get access to a story. And we have some stuff happening here. Bill can go out and get that done. We did have this singular crime story. I think that's the only one left, so we can send Catherine out to do that. The only one on the board left that doesn't have people assigned to it yet. And only 2 stories left. It is only Wednesday morning, so we should be absolutely good to go this week. Bye. All right, we get Fame story. Earl can go out immediately and get that done. It's going to take a day and an hour, so yeah, it'll be pushing it, but I think it'll get done without too much drama. Yeah, another sports story. We can send Jason out to get that done. 16 hours should be fine. And our last story is purely society with another bribe. I think we are just going to close that line of communication. It's the last story of the week. I don't know if we'd get it done by Sunday. We probably would have, but we probably were never going to print it anyway with just that singular tag. So I'm happy for that to not get done. But how is our paper going? Our resupply person really isn't particularly good at their jobs. But I think that might be just because we don't actually have somewhere for them to put this. But if we had a storage rack, they would fill that up. But without it, they sort of just leave it out on the street and we just hope that no one steals it. I don't think that's an actual thing. I don't think people steal our supplies from off the street, but yeah, it would be kind of funny if they did. And it looks like all our stories for the week are complete, so we can go ahead and just immediately roll the presses. Looks like pretty standout. This is our top story of the week. We have 1 silver tag and 4 bronze. Good to see. What do we have on here? Politics, unrest. We could probably make this first page unrest just purely because we do have a couple of stories that have that. I thought we had 3. Looks like we only have 2. So we can get this story there. Is that going to be our best bet? Doesn't have society. Entertainment's the only other thing that really is on there. So I think that's probably our best bet for now. Triumphant, we don't have any of. Yeah, looks like that's our best bet. That society or something on there. And then we can probably just send this politics story on the front page and call that good to go. Now, we definitely need some crime up in here somewhere. So we'll send this as the 2-star with the investigative tag. And we can combo that with this one, which also has the investigative tag. And I think this combos pretty nicely with both of these, with the society and the crime, so that's good to see. And the only other thing we really need on this is sports. So this looks like our back page is going to be sports this week, and that can be basically the rest of these. I don't know if this story is going to be better than this, because this combos, right? So we're at $8,010. That would bring us up to $8,085, even with the old news tag. So I think it's better off just making this back page a full sports page, and that will be good to go. We have enough paper. Everything is good to go. We only have 1 story left over. Go ahead and actually, before we do that, let's just check that we did complete everything. Looks like we did, and we can go ahead and roll the presses. It looks like it was broken. But I'm not sure if I take that. I'll have to go back and watch it, but add a broken tag on that, so that's interesting to see. 53,900 newspapers sold. But good. And again, I forgot to pay back my loan. I forgot to pay back the loan. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's not going to make that much of a difference. It's only $250. But yeah, something that I did forget to do. We'll go ahead and do that before we close out this episode. Everything is looking good. We've got money coming in. Good to see. And again, we're still only 3 total seniors, but that's fine. They're slowly coming up the ranks, which is good to see. I don't actually know how this page works. I can't navigate, but that's fine. Anyway, all right. That is another week under our belts. We have unlocked the North Bergen Town Hall, which gives us access to George Washington's statue, which would buff politics, and also a politics bookcase. You can also grab some like large plants and things. Some Victorian wallpaper might be nice, and a grandpa clock, which is kind of cool. But we want to save our influence points for things like printers and things like auto doing paper, which is 8 influence points. And then to get all of these combined is like 30 something. 28, if I can do quick maths. And then we can also get the paper cabinet as well, which could be kind of fun. But after we go ahead and accept our quests for the next week, this one wants no crime. This one wants at least one censorship, which is kind of interesting. What do these people want? They want gossip, gruesome, which is crime, potentially. That's not too bad. So they want a lot of things. This is going to be a fantastic week. I think we can get away with possibly printing no crime, but it's going to be rough if we get crime for the gruesome tag. So I'm going to select these guys and actually go with the Mafia this week. They just want us to print at least one censorship. So we should be able to do that. So we'll go ahead and accept that and close that out. And before we go anywhere, open up our budget and finally pay down our loan. Because that seems important. And hopefully our mechanic guy, repair guy, can fix this before the week is out. But that is another episode of News Tower. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share it with your friends. Tell everyone you know about the game and the channel. And of course, leave a comment for the sake of engagement. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. But until next time, happy building, happy reporting. Bye, guys.